Well, let's share a cup of light, and the coffee is optional. Light sharing, however, mandatory, especially in these days. All right. Guidelight of the week is integrity. And by the way, Bob Marley, definitely a life lighter. The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him. The impact we make on people, the feeling that we give to people, and the way they feel around us, that is the true measure of greatness. Our ability to empower others through our own actions, our words, and our intentions, when we can use those things to actually have a positive impact on other people, even if it's one, even if it's 1 million, that is greatness. That is wealth. That is making a positive impact and truly making the world a better place. Thank you, Bob. Integrity, the light share of the week. Those of you who are new with us, every week we have a new word, intention, positive action, momentum phrase. We call them light shares. And this week we're focusing on integrity. And just so you know, our 5Gs: goodness, gratitude, greatness, growth, and grit. And I'll say integrity intertwines with all five. When you're able to maintain your own highest standards of integrity, regardless of what others may do, you are destined for greatness. Now let's keep it real. Right now, people are acting cray-cray, and maybe you're acting a little cray-cray. Fear is running rampant. People are scared of getting sick. They're scared of not having toilet paper. They're scared of not having money. They're scared of not having jobs. And when we're living in fear, we definitely tend to show up differently and treat people differently. But if we can maintain what's important to us, the goodness inside of us, the kindness, the generosity, the compassion, despite everything else that's going around, then that's integrity. And again, that's greatness. No one's watching. Why should I do it? That was my MO for a long time. If I was going to do something good, I definitely wanted to get credit for it. However, integrity doesn't mean doing well when people are watching, doing well and expecting an attaboy, doing well and then telling someone about it so they give you a pat on the back. Integrity is doing the right thing because for you, that's the only thing. So you have to ask yourself, what is your right thing? And does it change based on how you're feeling that day or who you're hanging around? Or is your right thing a non-negotiable that people hold you to and expect from you? And more importantly, that you expect from yourself. Integrity right now means showing up the best true version of yourself. That way, you have no faking to do. Don't have to fake it because it won't make it. So if you're anything like me, you feel safer when people think you're awesome. You feel safer when people are complimenting you. You feel safer when you feel really valuable. But that's just your image. That's just the image we want people to see. Integrity, that's showing up as our true, wholesome, real self, our whole self. The broken parts, the scared parts, the real parts. And that's how we see those as just patterns, shame, pain patterns that we can interrupt and break and create actually a life and a way we show up that we're proud of. And that we're proud of it because it's real. So looking good and sounding good is never worth compromising your integrity. So integrity means more than telling the truth. Integrity means more than being fair, honest, and forthright. It is integrity with yourself, because only we know in ourselves and our inner deepest core if what we're doing right now, if we're actually doing it to the best of our ability. Are we being as patient as we can be? Are we working as hard as our job? Are we being the parents that we know we can be? Or are we settling? Are we compromising? Integrity means digging in, getting gritty. In fact, grit is part of integrity, and making sure that whatever it is, you're doing your absolute best, and that way you can feel good about it when you're done. Don't Don't go half-assed and save it up for later. Think about right now, am I doing everything I can to make the most of this situation? Because we all have skills and strengths. And that's why right now the world needs that more than ever. It's going to be really easy to lay low, stay in the cuts, wait until this all blows over until you take integrity actions. But right now we need leaders, we need life lighters, we need people that truly are doing their best to spread love and light, to realize that there's struggles going on right now, but knowing that we have the ability as human beings, as life lighters, to turn those struggles into strengths. So it's up to us to make that happen. All right. And hello, Vahini. Boom. Let's keep it going. So it's interesting. A lot of people think the opposite of success is failure, but it's not. The opposite of success is compliance. That means going along with something even though you don't agree with it, even though it's less than what your values would direct you to do. Essentially, oh, we got, boom. Got some late arrivals. Welcome, Lori. Welcome, Vahini. Glad you're here. So again, compliance and just going with the status quo, even though it's not consistent with your integrity or your values, that is the opposite of success. And failure is just part of the path to success, where not being true to who you are, what's truly valuable to you, complying when you know you should go in the opposite direction, that is when failure happens. All right, a couple of quotes about integrity. By the way, if you're joining us late, guideline of the week is integrity. Let's see. Lori, would you like to read the one that you like the most, that resonates with you the most of these three?
How about attitude?
Rock it out.
Make living your life with absolute integrity and kindness your first priority.
Oh, Richard Carlson, by the way, is the person who was involved in all those Chicken Soup for the Soul books. And yeah, nice. He's a very good lifestyle adjuster. What's how does that apply to your life right now, Lori?
Well, I'm trying to keep the best attitude I can and pass it on to other people, keep morale up at work. I'm working remote, and we've got a lot of people that are really struggling with what's going on right now. So just trying to make the best of it and just pass on as much moral support and good outlook that I possibly can.
Yeah, I love that. And I find that when we put out that positive energy, even when others around us aren't, it does more good for us than it does for them. And it's true to who we are. And it's like right now we need that more than ever. So I commend you for it. Okay. I really, really like the fact that we have to hold on to our values, our principles, even though everything's changing and adjusting right now. And for all the parents, you know, everything we say as parents is heard over a microphone, a loudspeaker, and everything that we do is viewed under a microscope. So what we do now, our kids are watching all the time, and they are going to absorb that, and it means way more than anything we say. All right. Have you ever read this book, The Four Agreements?
I haven't.
I love it because it's very simple and straightforward. It's by Toltec Wisdom, and it's obviously written by Miguel Ruiz. But be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And what I took from it was more than just telling the truth, but be very deliberate and aware of the words you say in your own mind about yourself, the gossip that sometimes will happen that we disguise as sharing or connecting. Just being super aware that our words always have power, whether we're thinking them or speaking them out loud. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So right now, more than ever, we just have to be so aware of negative thoughts that come into our heads that really aren't the truth. It's like fearful thoughts. And to know that we can't always control what comes into our brain, but we can control how long it's there, and to let those go and focus more on directing our brains to things that are going to be very, very helpful. And again, Carl Jung, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. And sorry about that little typo there. So this is something I like to say in the fitness capacity. Like, it's a workout, you don't really like that particular exercise, and you kind of go on half speed. And I say, well, how you do this is how you'll do everything. But that really applies to life, whether you're cooking dinner, whether you're being patient with your family, your coworkers. But if you're only doing half of your effort, to me, that's a lack of integrity, because we all have a certain level we can go to. And it's true integrity means you're digging in. If you choose to do it, you're digging in and showing up your best self, your best skills, your best strengths every single time, whatever it is that day. Your best may be different tomorrow than it is today. It may be different a week from now, depending on your energy, your sleep, what's going on, and your basic fitness, skill level, and ability to interact. But whatever your best is, to me, having true integrity means showing up with that best, because it's a habit. Letting yourself off the hook and not going all in and doing your best in any situation, that can become a habit that slips over and spills over to others. Just like doing your best, having that as a non-negotiable in every situation, can spill over to things that you don't necessarily like or want to do, but it just becomes a habit. And it's an integrity habit. Boom. All right. Big, big things. Integrity. And these are ones that are important to me. Most people would say they don't gossip and they don't like gossip, but I don't know that most people take the time to be mindful or aware of when gossip's happening and when they're caught up in it. And self-talk. Sometimes we've said the same pattern again and again in our heads about ourselves. I'm not good at this. I'm not organized. I'm always late. I will never boom. And it becomes a repeating pattern. And they're often not true at all. But since we repeat it to ourselves so often, they become more and more our reality. So what we allow ourselves to say to ourselves has a huge, huge impact. And just making sure that we're impeccable with our words and that we have integrity when it comes to that. How about you, Lori? Any of these resonate with you? I'd love to hear from you too.
Yeah, so I agree, the gossip and versus the sharing, there's a fine line. And it's easy to get sucked into that. And so you just kind of got to pull away from that negativity or that gossip, right? And just keep doing the positive thing. But it's there, and you can get sucked right into it.
It's happened. I've caught myself. And
Yeah.
I've actually withdrawn from conversations saying, probably not helping anybody right now. And this gossip is like a selfish thing where it gives everybody a short-term feel good, like, oh yeah, we're talking about this and it's not us and it's not good, but oh, I shouldn't. But and it's just like, that's another contagious momentum gathering negativity thing that never ever helps. It's social commitments. Like right now we have the stay-at-home order, but there is no reason not to honor our social commitments with friends and family through Zoom calls, phone calls, whatever you can, pictures, because it's still, we have that, have the integrity to make sure that you honor it no matter what is really, really important. And when you hear needs versus wants, Lori, what do you think?
My needs versus wants. I've learned that, it doesn't, I don't need a lot, maybe, to survive and to be healthy. I think that we can all survive on the basics. my wants are, of course, stay healthy. I've had some issues. I've been through a lot just over the past 6 months. But my want is to get past all that and just get through the virus thing, and let's all start appreciating what we've also learned about being home with our families, and that love, or that, I think I spend more time now Zooming with my sisters than I have in 5 years. So,
Nice.
it's we're communicating again in a different way, and we're having fun.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. Yeah, and just I think having integrity to identify, is this really a need or is this really a want?
right.
Because the more simply we can live, the less we're going to be impacted when all the extra bells and whistles and wants are not available to us. So I think it's just a really simplifying has been, I think it's been a key component of this for a lot of people, just simplifying their lives and realizing I don't need as much as I thought I did, but there's some things I really miss and I look forward to getting back.
Yeah.
So I always like to focus on the difference of things we can control and things we can't. And I will harp on this again and again. There's so much that we can't control, and it's easy to go into victim mode and wait for everything to go back to normal so you can go back to your normal life. But really, right now, and there's people waiting to be healthy again, waiting to take healthy actions. But really, we can control what we do with our bodies every day and what we put into our bodies every day. And we can definitely control how long we let any type of thought stay in our mind, because our thoughts eventually become our intentions and our beliefs, and our intentions and beliefs become our actions, and those actions become pretty much our destiny and the life we lead. So it all starts with being very aware of the thinking. And then last slide I have for us, what can we do right now? Kindness. Kindness is key. It just reminds everybody that we have this human element of connection and light sharing, a common bond that holds us all together. And being kind to one another looks differently in our social distancing community and culture right now. However, it's impossible to be truly kind to another person unless we're being kind to ourselves. What would you say about that, Lori?
Yeah, so I try to be kind to myself. I think I'm always trying to do for others, and I have had to learn to take care of myself. So it's a tough one for me, the kindness one.
I think it's a tough one for many people, but if you, this is a good one I learned from a counselor or psychologist, and said, listen to what you're saying about yourself, because I have that same issue. Like, I will beat myself up if I don't do as well as I know I could have, or if I don't get something done on time, or what have you, or if I make a mistake. And listen to how you're talking about yourself and thinking about yourself. Would you talk that way to your son? Would you talk that way to your daughter? Would you want them to talk that way about themselves? And no, of course not. So why would you do that to yourself? And it's just patterns. All these things are patterns we get caught into, and they become so regular and routine, we lose the mindfulness to realize that is not a helpful pattern. So the last thing I wanted to share about, and it's kind of like how I've made the most of this lockdown. But what's showing up mean to you, Lori?
Do what you say what you do. I think showing up, like I've tried, I think actually during this lockdown, it seems like I've participated more in stuff than I have in the past, because I am locked down with my dogs. And so it's the need to, show up to things that I can show up to, or to be, just, I don't know how to explain it, Tom. What matters to me is, making sure that people know that I'm there for them, and that because there's a lot of people that have no income right now, and I'm just trying to show up where I can help them.
Well,
Being,
you're explaining it very well, Lori. Very well. For me, it's been an interesting time because I've been very busy with building the online programs and remote coaching and finding ways that we can really deliver health and happiness even when we're on lockdown. My own personal journey has been looking at my life and identifying patterns I just keep repeating and doing that I don't love, I'm not passionate about, or they're not even that helpful. And then, of course, when I got off drugs and booze, I had to go through it all. And that was different because that was obviously harmful. But now there's things that I do on a daily basis that there's part of my life, part of my job that I'm like, this is not what I'm passionate about. This is not the thing that I believe I was put on the planet to do. And I have time now to reflect and say, wow, how would that life look? What are the things that I really, really am passionate about doing? If I could spend my whole day doing it, what would it be? And that takes a lot of integrity to realize, whoa, it looks different than it does now. And to know that I'm not truly sticking to the things that I value the most. And a lot of it's out of fear of financial failure, fear of disappointing people, fear of failing at something new. But at the end of the day, the more I look at it, the more I know it's there. And this has given me an opportunity to have a lot more time by myself to realize that.
right. Well, I appreciate all your workout videos. I try to get to them when I can between all my meetings, but I love being with you guys on working out, even if it is through Zoom. So thank you for doing that for everybody.
Now, do you only do the Zooms or do you do the personal workouts we send you on the playbook also?
I haven't been able to do those yet. I'm going to start, like, today's a new week. So my goal is to start those, and I've got all green going in my refrigerator. I've turning over my life this week. I'm going to get back in the saddle and just try to commit to it every day and get healthy.
Love it. Yeah, you look healthy. I'm definitely glad you showed up. Is there anything I can help you with?
No, I think you're helping me a lot, and I appreciate everything you guys do, whether I don't say it or not. But thank you.
Thank you for hopping on and participating. I know that sometimes it's weird to speak on a forum like this, but I think it's a good place just to connect, share where we're at, and maybe get a little spiritual, emotional fuel to get you through the week.
Yeah. It was great. I haven't done one of these, so this is nice. I'd like to probably share it with my team at work. We're trying to keep their motivation up too. So
I will post the share link or the video on our Lifelighter page and share away.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, share away. All right. High five, Lori.
Bye. Have a great day.
All right. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Family.
Have an awesome day.
You too. Bye.